Assalamu alaikum. What?
It's kind of my line.
But I was just, but I was saying.
That's what I thought. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome to the best episode of Hadith Weekly.
Why is it the best?
Well, because I'm here.
Freaking Herb.
Anyway, so as students, oftentimes we're away from our families, and we go to school and we develop these close relationships with a few people, and we ask ourselves, what's so special about these relationships?
Right, and we got to thinking, and the answer was right there in front of us. It's that these relationships, we share a special sense of trust with the people in these relationships. And it actually brings us to our hadith for today, which is, there is no faith in him who is not trustworthy, and there is no religion in him who does not respect his covenant.
So what this hadith basically means is that being Muslim and being trustworthy, they really come hand in hand. And as Muslims, we should try to be more trustworthy individuals to all the people that are around us.
No, exactly. And I think another important point on top of that is that a lot of times when we're thinking about trust, we relate it with physical things. For example, can I trust this person with a certain amount of money? Can I trust this person with my car? But a question that we need to ask is that, does trust go a lot deeper than that? And it's yes, you could have a situation where a friend comes up to you and says, hey, do you want to do this project at 6:30? And when you agree to that, that person trusts that you'll be there at 6:30. And if you don't show up on time, then no matter how small it may seem, that person still loses a little bit of trust in you.
And if this continues, your relationship between you and your friend could take a hit. And there may come a time where your friend really, really needs you. And he's going to think back to a situation like this and be like, if you can't handle something as small as being on time seriously, how can I trust this person with such a big situation in my life?
No, exactly. And another thing is that as students, we go through a lot, we have a lot of frustration. So sometimes, we look for people that we can talk to about these problems. It's important that we think and we ask ourselves, can we be that person that when a friend comes up to us and, wants to share something with us, can we be that person that holds their trust? Can we take their secret and really keep it a secret?
Yeah, so many times we'll hear a secret, and then 5 minutes later we'll see our friend and be like, hey, bro, did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I can't tell you that. He told me I can't tell you.
Come on, man. I won't tell anybody.
He said, all right, if you say wallah.
And that's when you messed up.
So a few things we can take home is that, first, let's always try to be conscious of being trustworthy individuals. And then one way we can do that is by thinking of all the people that we really do trust and think of how we can become more like them and what makes them so trustworthy.
And one way that, that we can become more trustworthy individuals is by working on one thing, and that's, thinking before we speak. So many times we'll say something, and as soon as we say it, we'll regret it. So, if we just think before we speak, it's a very small thing, it's a simple thing, but it'll help us avoid these type of incidents.
So at the end of the day, we should be able to ask ourselves, have we become more trustworthy individuals?
Or no.
So thank you for joining us for another episode of Hadith Weekly, the best episode of Hadith Weekly. Inshallah, we will see you next week.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.